What is the role of a business analyst in Scrum team?
No role there.
We can't have a business analyst in Scrum team.
We can have, but there's no title of business
No
analyst.
job title as such will be there.
Okay.
It's a cross-functional thing.
So what is a business analyst called in Scrum teams?
Usually,
As a product owner.
Okay. Proxy
Proxy product owner.
product
Or
owner.
it can be a
Assisting
development team.
development team, part of development team.
So what should, as a Scrum definition, a business analyst should be called?
Maybe review the
Development team.
backlog,
Development
review the
team.
internal product owner.
Okay.
I feel
Internal
it
product
depends.
owner.
product
It depends. Either if the VA is more oriented to business, then he or she should be a proxy product owner.
There's
She's
no role,
more
there's no
inclined
proxy.
towards-
Okay, let's talk about the role of a product owner
Proxy
simply.
word I have not heard about. Is there?
Okay, Satish, let's have one conversation. See, product owner has two dimensions of working. One is an external dimension and another is an internal dimension. The external dimension is working with the business, working with the stakeholder, doing the market research and finding out the right thing on which the team should be working on. And that is more about business value and prioritization because he makes the decisions related to prioritizing the product backlog item. He is the owner of product backlog. Now, internal role which product owner plays is clarifying or communicating those why, those business reasons, those ideas effectively to development team so that they can create the desired product as expected in a product backlog item. Now, many times you may need a collaboration from development team to take care of part of the second row. And sometimes you may have a specialized people who understand the communication part well, maybe called business analyst in a waterfall word, but in general here they are part of development team. So development team members can collaborate with the real product owner who is primarily accountable for ROI. You can't make a business analyst accountable for ROI. There is someone who is prioritizing the product backlog and that someone is product owner. Here, it is more about a team collaborating and helping them. This can be also related with the who writes the user story. So team collaborating and helping them to get the work done and product owner focuses on more the external.
But what is the value add then? If they are playing that role of coordination and thing, I don't see a value.
So maybe it is not needed in a context where it is not adding value. So it is all a context sensitive. If your product owner can play both the role very effectively, then that's the best case.
Yeah.
You should not have unnecessarily other people jumping in. But if you find the product owner cannot allocate the whole time for doing both the roles effectively, then he may enable some of the development team members to maybe communicate directly with the stakeholders to clarify something which he has given idea about and work on more details. So he's working with the development team to enable their interaction with the business to clarify what he has prioritized.
Going a bit beyond the clarifications, is the product owner not owning up the business requirements? Well, that's
It is owning. So that's the point. So people who
there's an element of technology around this. So there's possibly a business analysis requirement on the technology side of things, which may be handled by one of the
development team member. That's
members.
it. So let's keep it simple.
So
Development team member can add on clarification, technologicals and other details, but he still owns it.
Yeah, but when you get into the technology part of it, it's already a functional part. It's no more a business requirement.
True.
And where is that? Business analyst interacts with the product owner and takes the, sorry.
Excuse me, 1 second. This technology part, where is that in Scrum?
Development team.
Dev.
And I'd like to remind you, there are basically 3 questions that we need to answer. First is, why are we doing it? Who's responsible for why?
Product owner.
Product owner.
Yeah.
Next question is, how are we going to do it?
Development.
Development team. The last question is, what are we going to do? Who's responsible for that? The whole team. The whole team. It's a collaboration. Okay? The product owner comes with more of a business perspective. The development team comes with more of an implementation perspective. How do we do it? Okay? And between the two of them, they figure out what has to be done. A Scrum team is not taking a mandate that says do this. It's taking a mandate which says, here is a problem, please solve it. Okay? So that figuring out how is part of it. Now let's come back to the business analyst. What is in terms of these three questions, what does the business analyst help you do?
It depends on where the business analyst is. If he's on the business side of things, then perhaps product owner
Okay,
is.
let's try these three questions. Is the business analyst thinking more about why, thinking more about what, or thinking more about how?
Why?
Why?
Both, right?
Both.
There's a
My
business.
experience with business analysts is they take requirements that have already been specified by
Correct.
someone else and
Correct.
convert them into something that the development
Correct.
team. So what question is this answering?
How-
It's somewhere
how-
between what and how. Okay? We're not at the why, okay? Because that why kind of implies the decision making, which is usually out of the scope of the business analyst. Okay? So, I could see a business analyst growing into a product owner taking more responsibility for the why question, because there's a lot of business knowledge in the process of business analyst. I could also see a business analyst focusing more on the how problem, which is more in the team.
That the-
A good business analyst would, with the domain expertise, would probably recommend, make recommendations that these are the best practices, these are like, better ways of doing things.
Possibly.
Yeah, brings more clarity.
Here's the thing.
Add
all
on
of the
value actually
skills-
to the development team.
All of the skills that you needed before, you still need. Okay? That voyage from idea to done hasn't changed. It's just the organization between idea and done. That's changed. Instead of having 5 steps with specialized skills on the way to A to B, there is one team between idea and done, and they solve the whole problem. Okay? That's what's changed.
And he talks to the product owner, brings more clarity.
Yeah.
I have seen business analyst handholding product owner very beautifully.
Beautifully, yeah.
And then making the clarification or the
Yes.
product backlog getting groomed well.
Quality will be increased. actually.
So I just stress on what Peter said at the end. The concept of converting idea into a working product and the skills needed from converting an idea into a working product still remains the same. The only difference is earlier you had a specialization business analysis, specialization design, specialization development, specialization testing, and the product. Now there is a one group doing all the things on an incremental and iterative fashion and reach into the solution. So you do need a skill to understand the domain, you do need a skills to design the product, but it's not necessarily specialized and called a one individual role. It's the whole development team. That's it.